Professor himself, the man, the myth, the legend, Scott Prof. G. Galloway. Scott, congratulations.
Thank you.
On your new book.
Thanks so much.
Another New York Times bestseller. Give us a little taste, a little preview of what you're going to talk about tonight.
So I'm going to try and break down the research around how do you build wealth? What are the behaviors? What are the strategies? How are you the person that shocks everyone when they find out how wealthy you are when you're our age?
As we like to say, strap in, get ready for another fantastic Faena Rose event.
Money is super important in a capitalist society. And I think everyone should have a plan or at least understand the basics of financial literacy for how you build wealth. And what I tried to go through was, okay, I hope you have a best-selling book. I hope your company goes public or you sell a business for a ton of money or you find out you had a rich uncle, whatever it is, or you go double platinum. I don't know, whatever it is that all of a sudden you buy Dogecoin and it goes to $1 billion a share. But let's assume that doesn't happen. What are the behaviors and strategies of people who end up economically secure, even if they don't hit it big? And I'll go through the algebra. I like to distill things down to an equation because I think it's much easier to hold on to. So the first is, the equation itself is focus times the product of time, diversification, and stoicism. And I'll start with, okay, focus. Focus is really about what I call finding your talent, not following your passion. And I say this all the time, but anyone who tells you to follow your passion, we have two types of speakers at NYU during lunch. We have really interesting, substantive people, and we have billionaires. We've decided that if you have 3 commas around your net worth, you should come talk about life at college. That there's some sort of wisdom that happens to you when you go over $1 billion in wealth. And we introduce them as billionaires, as if they've been knighted, right? Or in my industry, you get a PhD, you defend your thesis, they call you a doctor. Billionaire has that new status in the US where we assume that there's a certain level of prestige and insight and wisdom. And they always give the worst advice. And I think this is the worst advice you can give someone. They tell you to follow your passion. And what I've always said, and I believe this, is that anyone who tells you to follow your passion is already rich. And that person made their billions in selling plumbing supplies, right? This is your job. Find your talent. Try and workshop what you're good at. In an industry, and this is the hard part, that has a 90+% employment rate. That's the key. So no child grows up thinking, I want to be a tax accountant. That's my dream. What do you want to do? I want to be an astronaut. What do you want to do? I want to be a doctor. What do you want? I want to be a tax accountant. No one says that, a tax lawyer. The top 10% of tax lawyers fly private and have a much larger selection set of mates than they deserve. And those things will make you passionate about tax law. You'd be like, oh my God, I love tax law. And I love being great at this because being one of the best in the world at this thing makes me just a baller. And I get to show up at my high school reunion and say, fuck you very quietly to everybody. This is where true passion lies. And I think young people mistake hobbies for their passion. Be a DJ on the weekends. You want to be a model, fine, but just ring fence it. And if you're not making a lot of money, get out quickly and realize you never want to be in a profession that you get worse at as you get older. Sports, modeling. No, you want to be in a profession that you get better at as you get older. In addition, try and find an industry that has a 90+% employment rate. And I'm not here to crush your dreams. Next part of the equation is time. A huge flaw in the species. We cannot calibrate time. For 99% of our tenure on this planet, we have not lived beyond 35. So it does a couple things. One, when you look in the mirror at 39, you can't literally process what you actually look like beyond that. That's literally why all of us above the age of 39 look in the mirror and go, what the fuck? I mean, it's horrifying, right? When you're 35, you look different than 25, but you can process it. You can be like, oh, I look 35. When you get to 55, you're like, there's some alien being in this mirror that is so gross and uncomfortable to look at. Because guess what? You're not supposed to be here. It's unnatural. But here's the thing, you will be. And as a result, we're unable to process how long you're going to be here. And a lot of people say to me, Scott, I get it, but I'm 35. I think it's too late for me. Or I'm 45. If you're 35 and you're not obese, and you weren't born with type 1 diabetes, and you're economically successful, you're likely going to live another 70 to 80 years. And so you still got a ton of time. And people don't appreciate time. I tell young people, okay, put it in a low-cost index fund. Well, all right, what is that? Well, it's gotten 11% a year since 2008. 11%, come on, man, that's nothing. 11% a year means that in 21 years, that investment is up 8 times. Anyone here over the age of 45 will tell you that 21 years goes like that. And so if I could give you a magic box and say, do anything you can to put $12,500 in this box, do anything, one less vacation year, whatever it might be, smaller apartment, really, one less coffee a day, whatever you need to do, an extra job, really be thoughtful about the money. Fine, just try and scrape together $12,500. And if you put it in this box, I'll give you $100,000 back in an instant. How much money would you put in that box? I have that box. I promise you, the next 21 years are going to fly by. And here's the thing, as you get older, it goes even faster. Time starts to fall off a cliff because your reference point for time, the amount of time you've been here, gets bigger and bigger. So years become seasons, seasons become months, months become weeks.